We are joined today by Mr. Sal Mora and Mayor Ignacio Velazquez. We will begin with Mr. Sal Mora. You have 45 seconds for your introductory remark. Begin when you are ready.
Yes, hi. Thank you, BenitoLink, for putting this on. Sal Mora, running for mayor. And, the reason why I'm running for mayor is I think it's time, after 8 years of our current mayor being in office, I think it's time for a change. It's time to restore stability back to City Hall. And it's time that we have a mayor that's going to work well with other organizations that's going to help Hollister prosper. We need to build good relationships, not only with the business community, the EDC, San Benito County Business Council, Board of Supervisors, as well as outside organizations, especially business education organizations from Silicon Valley, and attract those jobs here so that way we can grow economically and get the jobs that we need.
All right, thank you very much, BenitoLink, for having this forum. It's really important. I want the voters to know that this election is probably one of the most important elections we've seen in a long time, not only on the national level, but here locally in our community. This election is really about if we're going to continue to approve thousands of new homes or finally get to support to slow it down. I've been about slower, smarter growth for years, haven't had the votes to do it. My opponent wants more growth with the developers. He's funded by the developers. He's a mortgage broker. His wife actually sells the new homes. That's how crazy this all is. We need to get past that. We need to return our community to the public, take it away from the developers.
Thank you, Mayor Velazquez. We'll now begin with you for the first question. Homelessness is related to the cost of housing and loss of jobs in the county. What solutions are you offering without relying on the state to help resolve these growing problems in Hollister?
We've been working with the homeless problem here for several years now. Several years back, with one of the county members from the Health and Human Services, him and I are the ones that put together the plan for the homeless shelter. We got together, we realized the county and city need to work together. We couldn't just keep ignoring the problem. We went to a seminar in Santa Barbara, came back with ideas, pushed really hard to get a new shelter built because we realized without a shelter, we are never going to change the way things are. We got that shelter built. Good things are happening there. The only issue we have there now is we needed more beds. And this is one of the things I brought up early when we were going through the whole process. We need to make sure we have the right numbers so we can get the people in that need the services. Most of the people that are homeless in our community have severe mental issues or dependency issues, and they need the treatment, they need the shelter. We are really actually doing a very good, we're actually a model for the Central Coast here. So we're doing a good job here on it, but we need to do it much better.
Yeah, well, when it comes to the homeless issue, I beg to differ with the mayor there. It's not getting better, it's getting worse. We're seeing more homelessness in the parks, downtown businesses are having issues with homeless people being around there. But the solution is, in my opinion, is the city should invest in a piece of land that way we can build a fence around it and have an encampment there where the homeless can go spend the night there, provide water, showers, the community-based organizations can help out. We can have mental health services be there as well as providing medical services. And that's how we're going to get it, how to solve the homeless issue, especially in the parks and them frequently just hanging out, sleeping in downtown Hollister. We can't rely on the state. We have to come up with solutions that are outside the box. And the homeless shelter is just not working.
Thank you, Mr. Sal Mora. The next question is for you, Mr. Sal Mora. This is a BenitoLink survey question. With so much time spent on city council infighting, as mayor, what solutions do you have to make sure meetings have civil discourse and run efficiently?
Yeah, it's a really good question. This is one of the things that I've been talking about during my campaign, and the community members are sick and tired of this, and I want to bring about change. First, we want to adopt a rules of decorum That way, the city council meetings are run in a respectful, efficient manner, and that the community at large is respected and treated in a way that they currently aren't now. And those rules are going to apply to everybody, whether it's you're elected, you're appointed, you're a vendor, if you're city staff. We really need to get back to stop the infighting, stop all of that, and get back to business. There's these meetings go way too long, and I think we do a disservice not only to the community, but we also disrespect city staff. They work long hours, work hard on getting those reports done, and for us to sit there and have 5-hour meetings at times with nothing getting done but fighting, it's very embarrassing, and we need to get back to it.
Yeah, it's been disappointing the last year and a half of the fighting going on amongst council members. Here's the thing, the rules are there. And as I tried to enforce the rules, the majority of the council would overturn the rules and keep fighting. And I warned people over and over, look, this is City Hall. You need to be professional. We can agree not to agree, but fighting, calling each other names, giving misinformation, attacking those who don't agree with you, it's not the way to go. And it's unfortunate. Unfortunately, my opponent here has been part of that problem. Many times he's come to the council meeting, giving misinformation, calling me a used car salesman, throwing out information that's completely false. And I would tell him, please don't come to City Hall and provide misinformation and throw accusations that are false. And once I would try to stop him or explain that, the other council members would go crazy. They need to act professional. And that's been what I've been trying to do, but you can't do it if you're overruled 3-2. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Ignacio Velazquez. For the next question, we'll begin with you, Mayor.
Yes.
What types of housing would you support, and is there an annual limit you envision?
Yeah, this is something I've been trying to push for a long time. Back about 5-6 years ago, I started pointing out we have a problem with growth. We couldn't just keep building single family homes, and we needed to do an upgrade in our general plan. And what I've said many times, but I could never get the support for, is all our new neighborhoods have to have a better mix. They should have the single family, multifamily, affordables, apartments, senior housing, all of it where it's paid 100% from within that community. So you're gonna have a community that's much better off protecting their own neighborhoods, but also covering their costs. We cannot keep continuing just building single family homes thinking that is the answer. That is what got us in trouble in the past. That is what's getting us in trouble now. And that is what's going to sink us in the future. So we have to focus, as I've said, on this new general plan that will encompass it. And that would be slower, smarter growth. So we have a better balance in our community, including commercial.
I like to see more multifamily homes being built. We don't need an influx of single family homes. We need moderate housing as well. That way the middle class can afford them. We also need to have affordable housing. We need to have affordable senior housing as well. That's something that we're really lacking. It's a good thing that we did get those senior apartments over off of West Side Boulevard, which is really great. But also projects and developments like the 400 block, which is great. You have retail on the bottom, you have housing up on top, affordable housing units. And it's great that way our residents don't have to travel far to go maybe have lunch or dinner. And those are the types of developments that we need, not these large lots anymore. It's time for us to change the way we've been doing it. And, the mayor keeps saying that, the city council approved thousands of homes, and that's simply not true. In the past, since 2018, I believe they approved less than 700 homes.
Thank you, Mr. Sal. For the final question, we will give you guys an opportunity to ask each other a question. So, Mr. Sal Mora, it's your turn to answer a question. So, Mr. Ignacio, at this time, I will provide you an opportunity to ask Mr. Sal Mora a question.
Yeah, I think Mr. Mora repeatedly comes to our council meetings and says, I'm not for growth, I'm not against growth, but you guys need to approve more growth. Look, be honest with the people. Let them know you are a mortgage broker. Let them know your wife sells houses at the new development, not a realtor, but at the new development. Be honest with the public. Stop changing what you do for work. Let's hear you tell the truth for once, rather than just throwing out misinformation that you constantly do. What are you really doing? You're a mortgage broker. Now all of a sudden you become a law enforcement person. The people don't need to be lied to anymore, Mr. Mora. It's time to tell.
Ignacio Velazquez, can you, what is your question?
My question is, does your wife sell the homes at the new developments? Are you a mortgage broker or are you not a mortgage broker? Or a mortgage sales loan officer, whatever it is?
You have 1 minute to respond, Mr. Sal Mora.
Yes. You know, it's funny that the mayor likes to make it seem like I'm not being truthful. I think I've been more truthful than he has in his 8 years combined. I am in law enforcement. There's a video that I posted because the mayor keeps putting out wrong information, saying that I was terminated, which I wasn't, because that was overturned. Thank you very much. And you know, I work part-time as a mortgage loan officer. I do not work for developers. I do not sell those new homes. If somebody happens to come to me, I can do one of those loans. I'm not a mortgage broker. There's a difference between a mortgage broker and a mortgage loan officer. And I am part-time. I average maybe about 7 to 8 deals a year. Yeah, so I don't make like hundreds of thousands of dollars like the mayor would make it seem to be. I'm not funded by developers either. And my wife does work as a sales consultant at the new development, one of the new developments off of South Side Road, which is county, which is, you know, not city whatsoever.
Thank you, Mr. Sal. Now it is your opportunity to ask Mayor Ignacio Velazquez a question.
You know, the mayor keeps talking about how since 2015 he's been, you know, Mr. Mayor, you've been saying that you've been critical and against new developments since 2015 because you say that the new developments don't pay for themselves, they eat up city resources and funds, don't provide any funding for infrastructure. Did you purchase a brand new home in 2015 in one of these new developments that you say create so many issues towards the city of Hollister? Because if you did, then you're part of the problem as well.
Yeah.
1 minute to answer, Mayor Ignacio.
Do I live in a home? Absolutely. I used to live around the block from the home. The issue we have, in case you don't understand, Mr. Mora, is by building just family homes, is the only people that can afford them any longer are people from out of town. I can remember when I realized we have a major problem in our community. That was a development along Santa Ana Road where it looked good on paper. Everything was good. I was actually in favor of the project until I asked the question, what about the road in front of it? Are you going to fix this all the way to Airline Highway? And the response was, no, that is not our problem. Somebody else would do it later. I said, we can't do that. We can't allow our kids to walk to school in the dirt and when it rains on the roads because a developer doesn't want to pay the cost of that. This is a leapfrog development, the bad planning I was talking about. That point on, I insisted we have to update the general plan and we can never make these same mistakes again. So I will continue to say no to these types of developments and push for smart growth.
Thank you, Mayor Ignacio Velazquez. Now it's the portion for your closing statements. Mayor Ignacio Velazquez, you may go first. You have 45 seconds.
No problem. Thank you.
Sorry, you have 30 seconds.
30 seconds. I want to thank you and I want to thank the public again. If I really want to make sure the public realizes, I'm going to say it again. This is that moment in time where we can change things. We're so close right now. We can finally get the majority vote to implement slower, smarter growth, to make sure we don't impact our schools any longer, to make sure we don't impact our roads. We need to be smart about what we're doing, or we're going to end up paying a fortune in new taxes to pay for all this development. We can do it together. The plans and ideas are there. All we need is 3 votes, and we can make the changes. So I want to thank everyone. Take care.
Thank you, Mayor Ignacio Velazquez. Now it's your opportunity for your closing statements. Mr. Sal Mora, you have 30 seconds.
Yeah, thank you very much. I hope the community caught that Mr. Velazquez did not answer my question whatsoever. I asked him if he purchased a new home in a development And the answer is yes, he did, even though he's against them. He didn't answer the question. I answered his question. I'm about transparency. We need a mayor that's going to be transparent and be honest with the people and let the people judge for themselves. But let's not play games and be around the bush. Come out, be transparent, and be a good leader. That's what I will do.
I guess he didn't hear me.
That's the last of the questions.
Oh, no, you didn't answer, sir.
Your time. Thank you guys for participating.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, BenitoLink.
Have a great
Thank you. Take care, Noe.